Hey, Nathan.
And camera. Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Going on?
John, how are you?
Pretty good.
Great. How are you?
I'm excellent.
His name's Mew.
And apparently savage dogs. He looks like a big teddy bear.
We have to go over on that because I didn't even introduce himself.
Yeah, we gotta start the fucking show.
Welcome, Nathan. How are you feeling today?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah, really good, really good. I know we've been geeking out for a little while, but to do what I can to pass on what I've been up to, what I'm up to, and hopefully it helps someone.
So, Nathan, first thing that I would really to go a dive deep into is you are a nerd, you are a geek, right? You like to call yourself, or at least think that, hey, you like to build, you're a geek. Were you always like that? How was your childhood? Like when you were 12 or 13 years old, Nathan? So who was that Nathan? Did you
get bullied a lot for
Yes.
being a geek, or
like
people used to steal your lunch or something?
were you always interested into building or different from other students?
Or did you want to be an astronaut
Yeah.
or something?
Well, I was actually bullied at school, but it wasn't because I was a nerd. It was because I was 6'3" in the end of primary school. So I've always been really tall and that and a bit quite softly spoken. So I'm a prime target for bullies. When I was 12, 13, I think it was 13 when I got my first computer. I had a Tandy 1000. And I thought spreadsheets were the coolest thing in the whole world. How wrong I was. They're now the bane of my existence. So we now build software so that we can not log into Stripe and not use a Zapier account and not have a spreadsheet. So yes, I've always been a nerd. My business life wasn't always nerdy. My first work experience was as a computer technician blowing the gunk out of mouse, these things, when they had trackballs. I then became a Macca's burger flipper and then a doughboy at Domino's, and then I ran a pizza shop. So I did a lot of hospitality for the first 10 years of my business life. I fell into banking and then discovered there was a nerd at my bank office. There was one nerd. Everyone else was corporate-y people. There was one nerd. He had the coolest job. So I wanted his job. So I got his job. And that was when I got into IT. Did corporate for 15 years or something. Hated every single second of it. It's the worst. But it did season me to understand how much waste, how much bulk, how much complete idiocracy happens in work environments and poorly designed structures and all that sort of crap. So I came out of that and got into marketing, and now I've done full circle and go back into software again. So I now know that changing a website on a page, corporates used to pay millions of dollars for that, and I can build websites on my phone. I can build web apps on my phone by the pool. It's a completely different world now. So we try and build software for people, and hopefully they come to us and say, hey, can you do this? Great. Heard you did this for this person. Great. And when I tell them the price, they go, oh, it's missing a zero. So that's where software democratization is these days. You should be able to build things quickly. You should be able to build things scalable. You should be able to build things white labelable. I know that's a big thing for you guys as well. If you have white label in mind, everyone else sells your stuff, even though they call it their own thing. And then they go off and sell their own thing and they go off, but it's still yours, and yours is everywhere. So that's a bit of a nutshell on my journey so far.
You said that you were into hospitality for the first 10 years of your journey. So, and you hated it. That's what you said. You absolutely didn't really
hated corporate. I hated corporate. I love people. So hospitality was fantastic. I kind of missed it when I went into corporate. I hated corporate so hard that it made me miss hospitality even more. I love getting on Zooms. I love getting on meetings with people. All my clients are in the US. I'm in Australia. I still love the people side of things. I'm a family guy, but I get to do nerdy stuff now, and I enjoy that. I don't have bosses. I don't have team meetings and all hands and all that sort of crap. It's a complete waste of people's time, a complete waste of money. I run a reasonably successful organization. I have myself, and then I have a few employees. I'll call them employees because they'll be saying that, but contractors overseas and in various countries, different time zones. They love me. I love them. We keep it simple. That's how business should be done these days.
They want to know how to make more fucking money, how to get clients, what they should be automating. They want to know all this shit. I want to deviate for a second, since you're a geek and a tech person. You know, so it seems like you were in the IT world when Salesforce came along. There was a major paradigm shift in the software world and how software was actually presented and delivered to businesses. And you know, this is now almost 20 years ago that the whole software world changed. So I kind of want to get your
platform.
So I kind of want to get your thoughts on, okay, so we as consumers, we're kind of little peasants, right? We're definitely in the grand scheme of things, even as millionaires, we're still peasants in the grand scheme of the world. So what do you think, you know, given the fact that now we have ChatGPT, we have generative AI, we have literally, if you have enough money, you can go get your arm chopped off and you can get a robotic arm put where your old arm used to be, and you can control it with your brain like a normal arm, and you can feel it burning if you want. What do you think the technology looks like behind the scenes that's not accessible to consumers, that's at this top level? There's so much that we don't have access to, and we, like the military, must have a whole bunch of shit that
totally, man.
What do you think that looks like right now in that state of technology?
I try not to let that keep me up at night, because, you know, some thoughts of that send me into a bit of a brain tizzy. I think I'm very bullish on all of this stuff. I love it. I think it's amazing. Like I said before, this is not going to take people's jobs. This is going to 100x productivity. If your job gets taken, then you weren't seeing that. You didn't adapt fast enough. And I think everyone can adapt and dominate with the tools we've all just been given. They're completely democratized generative stuff. So if you've got a truck driving job, then Tesla trucks aren't coming for a long time. You've still got some time. But office workers, accountants, lawyers, look out. That's not that far away. These are user, like you said, peasants tools. These are in December 15 last year. These all just got given to everybody, and they're all open. This is not, hey, I want you to have this and you can use it this way, and, you know, power to the people, but it's the way we want you to use it. It was completely open. And I know there's a whole bunch of stuff, ChatGPT's woke and blah, 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 blah. OpenAI's not. If you go and make the same call to OpenAI, which is what powers it, you don't get all that woke crap on the top of it. You don't get all of the programming, you know, guardrails. But these are democratized peasant tools. These are all just come out to everybody. These have been around for a long time. OpenAI has been around for years. You've got Microsoft. They're massive. They're highly connected to everything. And you're talking top layer of the internet level of stuff here. Amazon doing the same thing. Google doing the same thing. What worries me is the markets. You know, that Johnny Depp movie, The Singularity or whatever it's called? He's connected an AI to the internet. Well, ChatGPT is not directly connected to the internet, but that's coming soon. If I've connected to the internet and I'm able to faster than everybody else do stuff, he does in the movie, he goes, oh, we need some money. There you go. I just played the markets and made $6 million or $600 million, something ridiculous, right? These tools have been around for years. They've just come to our hands. They've been around for years. You don't think BlackRock and Vanguard and all the big hedge funds and all that sort of stuff have got access to this stuff? Of course they do. Of course they do. And it's not the democratized peasant tools that we've got. It's the other stuff. It's the experimental things. It's the, oh wait, on that day didn't the market crash randomly and they blame it on something else? This stuff is happening all around us. And what's going to happen in the next, I don't know, 6 months, where the peasants have got, I stumbled on something super powerful and I've connected it to the internet. And we, you know, there's North Korea, there's Russia, there's all these hacking, you know, forums everywhere. And then there's nefarious money-making kind of people that go, what if I turn this on? Am I going to end up with paper clips everywhere? So I do try not to lose sleep on that, but I think there's a lot happening in the background, definitely.
A while ago, Nikola Tesla, he created some patents, and he had this huge theory for wireless electricity in the forms of a weather device, a weather weapon? Do you think we have weather weapons? Do you think that there's weapons that the government has that can actually manipulate weather and create tsunamis and earthquakes and hurricanes?
I don't know for sure. I know that there's Senate hearings that they've said that actually exists. I know it's possible. Physically, it's possible. So I don't know, maybe. So I left my tinfoil hat somewhere else. Am I allowed to talk about this?
So what do you think our world looks like? How old are you?
43.
Okay, so realistically, if we factor in medical advances and stuff, you probably got comfortably another 40 to 60 years left on average lifespan. What do you think the world looks like on your dying bed whenever you're about to What do you think the world looks like?
It's crazy to think about that. I feel old. I've got kids, I've got a house, I've got pets, and a picket fancy type thing. I've done all that sort of stuff, right? I feel I'm just getting started. So I do feel old because I think, I remember my parents being old when they were my age. Me, when I was younger, thinking, wow, you're so old. But there's more life left than I've already lived, it's a really nice thing to think about. Like, if it's 60 years, then I've got 1.5 times my life left. And I've done some cool shit up until now. So what does the world look like in 60 years? Dude, what does the world look like in 12 months? Honestly, I've been saying this since December, in like multiple conversations. There's probably people who have recorded me saying this. In 6 months, every single relevant app will have a button that says AI. For some reason, it'll be there. It'll be like the Alexa Siri thing, but everywhere, and it'll be useful. Because if you don't have it, you're not relevant anymore. Everyone expects to have. I have to fill out this freaking form for the government. Seriously? Press the button. You know who I am. There's all your stuff. Now that's privacy control and everything because it's me that did it. Like that's my voice or whatever. But in 12 months, work is completely unrecognizable for the majority of people. If you've got an office job and your job subsists around trying not to look like you turned up late, trying to look like you're doing something, taking a long lunch, trying to leave early, sending some emails, what the hell is your job? And that's been the case for 15, 20 years. If someone could produce your output in 30 seconds because they know how to prompt engineer an AI to do it for you, then you weren't doing a good enough job. You've got productivity in your hands and you're not doing anything with it. You're a waste of space. Get out of the way. Let someone else in. I think that's a positive thing. I think I'm quite bullish on that. But we're only 12 months ahead. 5 years, do we have full automated driving everywhere? In 5 years, are we testing trucks? What happens when there's no need for truck drivers and it's a huge industry? I like the idea of that. They lead shithouse lives. They're all drug addicts and they've got broken families. It's really not sorry to all the truck drivers, but seriously, I know a lot of you and it sucks. That's the worst. It's the worst. It's not good for their bodies. It's not good for their minds. It's not good for humans to be driving trucks. So I'm all for that. Where do we go when are we now at drones delivering everything to us all the time? We look outside and yeah, that's my dinner. There's tomorrow's stuff for the kids for school. How close are we to that? I think that's pretty close. But what I'm trying to picture is what happens with this technology stuff. What happens with this AI stuff when we're 2.5 months in, and I'm literally getting 3 hours sleep at night because I can't put this stuff down. Like last night, I built Tony Robbins, Joe Rogan, Dan Kennedy, Mr. Beast, and someone else, Warren Buffett, into a voice recognition tool where I can speak to it and say, hey, Warren, should I invest in the S&P 500 today? And then ChatGPT is answering me, but it's in Warren Buffett's voice. And there's a picture of him and his mouth moves. It's near real time. And it's not a video one yet. It's more a lip syncing type thing. But it took me a day to put that together. I can't put this stuff down. Like, it's so fun. It's so interesting. It's so game changing. I don't even know what I'm looking at. I don't even understand what this is going to do. And I'm a nerd. Like, I'm seeing that it's unlimited use cases for everything all the time. That crazy movie, Everything Everywhere All the Time. Literally, there's so much. I feel we've entered the metaverse where there is just too much going on that I can't focus on anything. There's so much to do. And it's so fun. It's so amazing. And I'm a nerd and it's my time now. But what is Karen at the bank or Sally at the office or John in the investment jobs, what do they do in 12 months? Do they really have jobs? Is their job different? Does everyone have to be a prompt engineer? Does everyone have to be an AI controller? Or like, what do these people do in 18 months? If we, like, I know I'm bullish on it. I think it's great. I think the productivity is going to astound everyone. It's going to be amazing. But I seriously can't pick what non-productive people who are in productive society right now, what the hell are they going to be doing in 12 months? So long way around to answer your question. I have no idea. I can't even see 12 months ahead, let alone 60 years from now. I think 60 years from now, we're not here. I think we're space bound or Mars bound, or I think that's absolutely possible.
So it's a huge paradigm shift, right? What fascinates me is looking at the world and the amount of people that are so scared. They're so scared and so anti. It's okay, so machines and AI are going to replace all the burger flippers. Machines and AI are going to replace all the package delivery people. Machines and AI are going to replace all the street sweepers. And it seems the world's so scared that we take the most meaningless, trivial jobs, the most low-skilled jobs, that we take them away from the population, and God forbid the fucking goddamn humans, the most intelligent creatures that exist on planet Earth, we remove these stupid jobs from them. But society is scared about this. They're literally scared. Oh, well, the burger flippers, they're not going to be able to flip burgers anymore. What are we going to...
Because they get so much fulfillment from that.
Right. So it's okay. I mean, the scarcity, the fear is also normal though for them, because they are thinking what happens to those people. What does those burger flippers do now? Or what does those delivery guys do now?
I think if we look at the movie 300, I think those were the people that got thrown down the well.
Exactly.
I think they threw them down the well.
So that's the thing. So obviously now, if you are, let's say, a burger flipper, and
you are,
exactly, you're gonna get
turned.
Then how it's not gonna scare you off? Obviously, it's going to, right? So the scarcity, the fear mind, obviously, it's normal. I mean, it's natural for people, but then also human. I think they underestimate their potential as well. That they don't think that, hey, how much potential we have, even if those burger flippers lose their job or they don't have a job, but what next? What can they do? What else they can do, right? Where is the other things that they can actually be, good at? So that potential, I think we underestimate our own potential, and we feel this is the only thing that we can do, and we cannot upgrade our skill, or we cannot upgrade our mind, and that's where the fear mindset comes from.
I think it's changed as well. So I think it's spot on with scarcity mindset, but I think change, people just don't deal with change.
They're just scared. Obviously, they don't take change so well. They think, hey, it's there. That's one of the things. Like, they're not so adaptive that you mentioned at some point of time that they have to be. You're implementing AI. I mean, the most of the other companies, they are also thinking how to implement AI, right? Why? Because they are also thinking from that adaptive mindset. How can I adapt AI into my software or into my product?
So let's talk about automation a little bit. A lot of businesses, they don't have any automation. What are they missing out by not doing some type of automation?
I've seen a lot of businesses, they don't really automation. When they hear the term automation, they feel it's actually they're going to lose human touch. So
they'll lose control.
So what are they missing out, or what advice do you have for those people?
Look, if you can automate something, then you don't have to do it. If you have to do something twice, I'm sure I've read this somewhere, but if you have to do something twice, then you need to automate it. So I try not to do anything twice. If I do it once, it's fine. If I try and do it again, oh God, I've already done this. Why am I doing this again? It's time. Okay, now I'm triggered to, I need to go and actually automate that. A paradigm shift happened for me about 2.5 years ago. So I know you guys have come from the ClickFunnels world. I'm sure we met up in that sort of space. That was a game changer 4 or 5 years ago, to speed things up, to simplify things. Pretty generic concepts, but slap a new name on it, but actually give something useful and a whole bunch of, training and a focus on one thing was really, really good for the industry. And I think it lit a spark under a whole bunch of entrepreneurial types and small businesses. I think it was perfect place at perfect time, really. I think a lot of people got a lot out of it. I think a lot of people were dragged into something they probably shouldn't have gotten into, but I think that's the way the world's going anyway. I think it was perfect place, perfect time. A lot of businesses aren't stable. A lot of businesses aren't future-proof. A lot of, I would say, I love ideation. I love it. I love geeking out on new things. I love the idea of launching stuff. So I talk to a lot of business owners a lot. And what I hear is ideas, and I can gently pick at them and help point in certain, I've seen that 50 times. It's not going to work. It's not going to work this time. You're saying it's different. It's not going to work. So a lot of ideas are shit. And it's not even the execution. It's you've come up with this idea, you think it's new, it's not. You've come up with this idea and you think it's going to be great, it's not. You've come up with this idea and you think you're going to make money out of it, you're not even thinking about the customer. Like, what the hell is, the idea is nothing. Yes, you have to Gary Vee that shit and do something with it, but I'm actually talking about the idea itself. If you don't have something that's going to be future-proof and grow and scale and that you're going to like, one of my favorite books is called The 7-Day Startup. It's by another Aussie, Dan Norris. He started a company called WP Engine, which is an unlimited website service for WordPress. Genius, absolutely genius, like $69 a month. And he'd hire a bunch of $3 VAs and I'll do all this stuff. But he went after bloggers. Now, they don't have any technical issues. A few tweaks here, a few tweaks there, some templates. And he charged $69 a month and they probably use $2, $3 of labor every month. Genius idea. They end up getting bought out by GoDaddy. He wrote a book called The 7-Day Startup because he started that idea in 7 days. He's got his 9-step process in the book on ideation. So if you don't like what you're going to do, don't freaking do it. It's not a good idea. Oh, once I make some money, it'll be great. But you're not going to enjoy it. If it doesn't fit what you do, I'm going to go and change the banking industry. How long have you been in banking? Oh, I'm not in banking. What the fuck? Don't do something you do. Like, I'm into pizzas. Okay, well, do something with pizzas. You don't have to make them. Maybe you can help people market them or something, but do something you love. Do something you enjoy. Do something that's got something to do with you. Are some of the key points in that. I speak to entrepreneurs daily and I don't hear, I love what I do. I hear, I'm going to make money out of this, or I'm going to change, I hate my job, or I need to fix this, or I need to do less hours or get more sleep or whatever, right? I need to do something different. I want to do social media marketing management. Oh my God, why? To who? For hell? What? So I see a lot of bad ideation. So let's get past ideation. We've got a good idea now. You might be running your business. You might be running sales funnels. You might be running a website. You might be trying to do social media management for people. Automation is going to help you do more with less. There are a ton of things like lead gen guys. There's a ton of, I talk to a ton of lead gen guys at the moment because trying to automate that whole process. If you could pay per lead, you can do performance-based management. You don't have to do anything. It all automates itself. If you're good at finding the leads, then your job is to go and find leads who want leads. Because if you're good at finding the leads, you're in a perpetual cycle and you shouldn't have to touch any software. You should just say, hey, I found you one, pay me for it. Hey, do you want free leads? Yes, I want free leads. Great. If this one converts, I want you to pay me a bit. Is that cool? No upfront? Yeah, yes, no upfront. Like it's a perfect model, but you need to automate that stuff. If you're constantly chasing a $2 here or $3 there, and that lead wouldn't work properly, or I need to go through spreadsheets and I'm going to reconcile. No, you don't need to do any of that sort of stuff. I'll speak to lead gen guys who are using spreadsheets and Airtable and Zapier and Make and Pabbly, and then at the end of the month they've got accounting software, and then they get their affiliates accounting software and they put them together and they pay VAs to go. Oh my like, oh my God, what are you doing all this stuff for, guys? All this stuff is automatable. If it's zeros and ones, if it's simple numbers, you've got software that says this happened. And a lot of software these days, and back to my original point, paradigm shift 2.5 years ago, high level. I know it's a bunch of places and everyone's white labeling and calling it different stuff. That's fine. They got behavior driven stuff. Infusionsoft said they did it. Confusionsoft, because ClickFunnels says, no, they don't do behavior. ClickFunnels did nothing to do with behavior at all. If someone does something, I want to tag them. In my mind, I'm tagging them, but I don't want to tag them. I don't want to put something in a database and have to track all of that. If someone does something, I want to chase them later and say, did they do that? Now we're back to that natural language thing. If I can say the people who bought my book, I want to send them my course. Now that shouldn't take me 17 workflows, 50 different email templates, and a bunch of tags in the system. Wait, was that tag summer or was that tag winter 732? I can't remember. That's a freaking mess. That's not automating. That's just systematizing. that's putting on the cloud the crap that you've got in your head. Like that's not automating. So take a look at what you've got. If you've got spreadsheets in your business, you're not automating enough. If you dread logging into your Zapier account, you're getting closer. You're getting closer because we've got so many tools at our disposal right now. That can be overwhelming. I get that. But you shouldn't be running anything manually. You shouldn't be chasing up numbers. You shouldn't be tracking and trying to work out what your tracking actually means. This should be super simple. I look at the general online business process. You've got lead generation. You've got somewhere you've got to funnel your leads into. It could be a website, it could be a landing page, it could be a funnel, whatever you want to call it, right? You've got your leads, they come somewhere. You need to take them on a journey to a conversion, whatever that looks like. All of what I've just said should be 1,000% automated. You should be in there for the first 3 or 4 going, hey, call them, touch them. Like, how did you get here? Why are you here? Who are you? Like, understand all of that stuff, but you shouldn't have to move it from one place to the next. You shouldn't have to touch any of that. You should just look at it and taste test it. You need to know who they are. You need to know where you get more of them, that kind of stuff. Once you've got them in, you need to convert them, and then you need to follow them up. But like, none of that should be manual. All of that should be automated. There's super simple tools to make this happen nowadays. I've got I still use Calendly, but I'm pretty much moved over to high level on most of my stuff, and I've got an ad roll account. So the leads come in from a whole bunch of different places. That's fine. That's pretty normal. I can behaviorally see them, and ad roll gets told when something happens. So if someone goes somewhere else, I'm chasing them everywhere with pictures of me all over the internet. And that costs me, I don't know, 20 cents a day or something. That's about it. I know there's more advanced guys that can do that, but I can guarantee you probably 50% of the people listening are going, I have no idea what you're talking about. How the hell do you do that? That's not hard. That's like bare minimum. You need to have this. You need to be able to get them in automatically, and you need to be able to chase them up automatically. Now go do more. Build new cool things, new courses and new lead magnets and all that. I get all that. You need to have all that sort of stuff, but you shouldn't be spending all your time on, get them from there, and then I got to tag them over there and wait, where was that list again? And some spreadsheet stuff and import from MailChimp, and it's a mess. It's a mess. Was that a roundabout? Was that a stream of consciousness that I see every day?
That was a lot of information.
Yeah, a lot of information. Yeah, that's a valuable information.
That's what I deal with on a daily. So I see entrepreneurs from all walks of life, and
Sure.
this is the constant troubles that they have. So I know I'm probably resonating with some of them, but there is a way to automate, and you need to keep it simple. Try and get away from spreadsheets. Make sure you've got a software that can do things with behaviors and not tags. That'll change your life. And
for what software is that you would recommend? Go high level?
Yes, I would at the moment. I'm not selling it. I'm not I'm an affiliate, but I'm not pushing that or anything. I love it because it's white labelable. I love it because it's all behavior driven. I love it because it's an open platform. You pointed out Salesforce before. That was a paradigm shift because it was an open platform. They wanted to be a platform and everyone plugs into it. So that was a completely different way of selling software, right down to software as a service, individualized, user-based, seat-based, whatever. That was a complete change to the way software was done. High Levels has done that, the same thing. It's an open platform. Everyone else, you can build everything else on it, but they're building everything in it. So it's amazing.
So, Nathan, you are a builder, you are a geek, you are a nerd, right? But you still were able to, I mean, you did marketing, you didn't really, obviously you didn't go to, I'm guessing you didn't go to college to learn marketing and sales, right?
No, I went to college to learn how to get out of college.
So as a builder, as a nerd, as a geek, how you were able to build your $1 million business, how you were able to do the marketing and make money for your business. People need checklists. They like to get a blueprint. If I do this, then I can also build my multi-million-dollar business. So do you have any checklists for other entrepreneurs or business owners to follow?
Yeah, absolutely. So I guarantee you will get some value out of, even if you get the cliff notes of the 7-day startup, it's phenomenal for simplifying and just checklisting the start stuff. So what he does is he takes you through the process of going, I've got an idea. Here's how to work out if it's a shit idea or not. How do I get that from idea to MVP? Something I can say, hey, is this cool? And if someone says yes, or it would be cool if, oh, great, I'll go and do that then. Now you've built something that you've got some kind of feedback, you've got an MVP, you've gone and built it. Now you need to come up with a marketing plan to go and find people who do like it, and then you need to launch it. And you should be able to do that whole thing in 7 days. No, you're not going to create $1 million. Well, a lot of people do, but you're not going to create this, enormous business in 7 days. No, the idea, validation, and sale for the first thing should happen in 7 days. Get off your fucking ass, get out and go and do something. So the checklist I would give people is just go read that book. It's so good. It's really short. It's super fast, super succinct. It's written by an Aussie who's a bit of foul mouth. He's cool. There is checklists at the start. So that ideation 9-step checklist at the start is fantastic. The whole process of 7-day startup, I run everything through that. I've run every single business I've started in this space, I've done it that way. I usually do it around Christmas time and launch at New Year because I get bored in that little period because everyone's not doing anything. I started GHL Tools that way. I started our AI tool that way, our Copybot that way. Funnel Fix It was started that way. Butter Coffee was started that way. They've all been fairly successful and all took off in that 7-day startup mentality.
So basically you got an idea, do the MVP launch and figure out who are the people who actually want to use that product and who would like to pay for that product. Find those people and then go build the MVP product and then basically market and sell.
Yeah, and each day has some, a little checklist of things to do today. Where would I build my logo and how do I do my business card? No, you don't need any of that crap. So he just gets rid of all of the fluff and all the stupid processes and all of the procrastination. You've got 7 days. On this day, do these things, only do these things. Tomorrow you can worry about that thing and this thing. And then the next day you're going to do this. And the next day, then 7, turn it on. Don't forget to turn it on. It's the most important thing is turn it on. Oh, but everyone will hate it and everyone, was it a shit idea? Go back to day 1 then. But on day 7, turn it on. If it fails, it fails. If things break, they break and you fix them. But it's only taken you 7 days. You haven't lost your life to a launch that you're stressed about for a year, which happens a lot as well. Love that process. Super simple, super succinct. Not my book. I'm not an affiliate. Go grab it. It's really good.
Could you tell us a little bit more about GHL Tools and what that is?
Yeah, sure. So I still run Funnel Fix It. So we ClickFunnels nerds, still very much in that space. With all of the hype around these sort of tools and Russell and all that sort of stuff, and everyone's talking, and everyone's an affiliate and blah, blah, blah. We would take on customers that weren't just using ClickFunnels. So I'm using Infusionsoft for this because ClickFunnels doesn't do it. Great, well, we can support you. I'm using Kartra for my carts because it does the order bumps and it can take PayPal. Okay, that's fine. You're still using a bit of ClickFunnels. That's fine. You still be our customers. We would see people go shiny objects. Oh, I've got this convertory or this, this other thing over here or this other thing over here. And 3 months later, they come back. I got a 3-month trial. I tried it out and it sucked. I'm coming back to ClickFunnels. About two and a half years ago, we started noticing people leaving and not coming back. And I'd message them and say, hey, you were with us for a year or whatever, and are you not doing marketing anymore? Why would you leave? Oh, no, we just went to high level and you guys don't support high level. I think it was the first time I saw a snapshot where they took an entire business, all its sales funnels and workflows and behavior driven stuff, all of the stuff already built, one click, and it was in someone else's account, ready to go. Like no setups, no anything else. It was just already done. So, oh my God, who hasn't thought about this before? This is amazing. When I started playing with the software and seeing how open it was and realizing that people were moving over and staying there, I realized that we could start doing some actual building. So it wasn't, JavaScripts and stuff that we used to do for ClickFunnels. They actually had an API and we could API things in and out, and they weren't going to build everything. So they've got this completely open platform that's for everybody, which means they can't do something for John. They can't do something for Dentist X. It has to be capable and useful for everybody, which means there's tons of opportunity to go down to every niche. Oh, you need an integration with this software. You need an integration with that platform. Oh, we'll build that. And then we become the owners of that connection. So if let's say we did a integration with some dental software, well, high level is not going to do that. And then if we've got the dental software integration, every dentist that uses that software is going to come to us. Hey, how do we build it? We've got the connection. Just use our software. So you use high level, use your dentist software, use us to go in between, and you don't have to have zaps and broken things. So that's where GHL Tools was born. I saw a huge gap in that market. There's a lot of players in that. They've got a really good dev council, so we're on that. But that's what we do. We're more an integration platform partner.
Awesome. So what's next on your journey right now? I know that you're building an AI copy bot. So can you tell us more?
An AI coffee bot?
Yeah.
Copy bot.
Oh, I was going to say, what
Like
the fuck is a
copywriting
copy?
tool.
What's a coffee bot?
Yeah, give me that. Let's take some. So
what are you excited about? What's next on your journey?
Yeah, AI, definitely AI. Like I said, ubiquitous button's going to be everywhere. If we can simplify, I know you guys have got a bunch of software. I know that you'll be looking at that sort of stuff as well. Just literally last night, someone sent me a video of some network marketers showing this really cool tool that can do Facebook marketing. It's you guys, it's genius. So the ability to scale those things out, the ability to add new functionality that's going to keep people in those platforms. For example, I want to send this guy a message back, or I need to keep these in Messenger. I've got these 4 or 5 leads and I've tagged them this way with Genius or whatever. How often do you need to message them? Well, you can have little scripts in there. It says, oh, based on what industry or whatever, this is the sort of how often you should communicate with them. So maybe this is the sales process. Mm-hmm. But also, okay, well, this is the sales process. These are the kinds of messages you should send them. Click a button and say, here's a sample message. And it could even, instead of it saying generic template, like what's that gym software that does what's his name? The one that's built into ClickFunnels that does copywriting. Anyway, it's not generic template stuff. It's not just some spreadsheet with a UI on front of it. You can actually send them, oh, this is what they said to me. And have it, oh, well, here's the reply to Jane that says, hi, Jane, based on what you've said here, this is what I think I should say back, and actually have it talking to the AI. So I'm incredibly excited about that sort of stuff. I'm also looking at what's going to happen next when it becomes active, when it becomes actionable. So there's plugins and stuff you can do now to connect things in. I don't know if you've seen ChatGPT when you can get a plugin that connects it to the internet. So you can ask it for information and it actually annotates it with links to sources. What the hell are students going to, what are teachers and stuff in universities going to do now? Because that's research with actual research notes. This is not just copy and pasted from the new version of Wikipedia, which is ChatGPT. This is annotated. How can you tell the difference between something that's research and something that's not? Anyway. So I think the next 3-6 months, it's just going to be, where can we add value with AI tools? How do we simplify people's lives? How do we increase their productivity?
So are you scared at all? To be honest, I've talked to my wife about this before, because I think running a business, you always have to be really looking into the future and trying to see, okay, hey, what's coming in the future, so that It's like kind of the whole concept of dig your well, right? Hey, if you get thirsty and you start digging your well, once you're thirsty, you're gonna die of thirst. So just have your well nice and dug before you're actually ever thirsty, so that once you're thirsty, you just go to the well and get water. But so to me, it really seems, hey, the SaaS industry, it's a $200 billion a year industry. It's been growing. More and more players are getting into this industry. But to me, software as a service is really on its last leg to me. If you look in the future, when we have self-driving cars, when your car can literally just drive itself, how valuable is a fucking website building software? As more and more innovation comes, the normal software world is on its way out the actual door because, hey, compare a fucking AI tool with the fucking funnel builder. It's like there's no actual comparison, and if we're truly at this paradigm shift, it means we're starting this hockey shift. We're starting on this exponential growth curve, which means change comes fucking rapidly. In the next 5 years, how much value is somebody really going to actually put on a funnel building software or anything? So, like, do you have feelings like that?
Yes and no. I'm trying to see through the negative way of looking at that. Like, it's not, it's to me, I just see productivity. That's all I see. It's just productivity all the way down. These funnel building software, that's one example, right? As a SaaS as a service, a lot of people would be using those here. A lot of people in this community would do that. They're trash. Like, they're not very good. They're poorly built. They're years old tech. They're not good. They're not great. They're not best in breed. The AI tools themselves now are infancy. Even if they become connected, they're still infancy. The amount of tokens they've got, the amount of compute they've got, the error handling and error proneness to them. I could give it, I've seen examples on AI Twitter where build me a landing page, and it's kind of giving you this mid-journey level of this really high quality AI image quality level website built out, and then here's the HTML code. But testing that myself, exactly the same prompts and exactly the same output, looking at the code, that's not great. It's not 100% yet. It should be perfect. That's something that I think it should be able to do. Understand these fundamental frameworks. I love using Tailwind CSS. I think it's gorgeous and really easy to use. And a lot of tools are starting to use it as well, because you don't have to go and write all this stuff. You just say, I want it to be width 3 and this bit smaller, and use a natural language in the text. I want it text color. I want it text bold, blue. It's really, really simple to use. I know this is a bit technical, but the knowing, like, it's got the knowledge of the knowledge base of all of these frameworks, but it's still not perfect on delivering it. Us as the best developer in the world, it's going to take us a long time to produce really, really high quality, almost perfect code. ChatGPT can't do that, but it can do it instantly. It can do 90%, 80, 85% instantly. We're at its infancy. So if we fast forward 12 months, maybe, I know hockey stick and it's going to go fast, but if I can build just like ClickFunnels would build for me by AI, well, I can have 1,000 of them. There's no number, there's no limit then on anything we do in that space. As soon as it's good enough to do that, then everyone can do that. That takes everything, like the rising tide lifts all ships. Like, everyone is now at the level of, everyone's got the best web page. So what's innovation then? Innovation's going to be the better idea. Innovation's going to be the better product. It's all capitalism. It's all going in the right direction. Be more productive, do better things, provide better value. Don't be shit. Don't have a shit website. Don't have shit products. Be better.
Right, but I think what Jon was trying to get into it was, let's say, fast forward to 5 years or 10 years, and we have this neurotech where our brain is connected to the computers, and we have these drone flyings. So do you think at that point of time people would really find it useful for a funnel building software or a SaaS software? People would be really using SaaS software at that point of time?
I think once these steps that you're saying happens, hey, you don't need ClickFunnels anymore.
Right.
You don't need email marketing software anymore, because all these business frameworks, the AI has actually learned all of that.
Yes.
So you don't need WordPress. You don't need this plugin. You don't need that plugin. You don't need this software. You don't need that software, because the AI has learned all these frameworks, and it can literally just say, oh, you need that. It's like you can literally type into a box and it will build you a full custom software exactly for what you need, because the AI has learned all all of this shit.
But doesn't that fundamentally break the internet? Our internet model is big traffic and eyeballs to www. It's old, like this has been around since the 80s. It's time for a change. That's me personally, but like that's monopolized. If you and I are having a conversation and I want to send you something to do, that's fine. But can't we do this at scale? Can't we have these kind of interactions at scale? Is that the paradigm shift that we're heading towards? Because the model that exists now for the internet and sales funnels and conversion tracking and lead gen, that can't exist anymore. Advertising models are going to be completely non-existent. The way they are now, advertising is going to be way more important because everyone's going to be busy doing their thing that they want to do right now, wherever they want to do it. So advertising is going to have to get to everywhere, and it has to be TikTok level power for exactly who you are, exactly what you want right now. Oh, you need another bar of chocolate? Yes, I do. How'd you know? I just ran out. It has to be really, what was that Minority Report where he's walking around and says, oh, hey, John, do you want to? So is that this year or next year? That's where I think that's a big change.
Yeah.
How do we build in that? How does the community benefit from all of that? I think it benefits the community because it washes out all the shit. So there won't be it's going to be hard for startups because the incumbents are getting destroyed. Your software sucks and you don't connect to this, and hey, I can build my own API for that. So it's going to wash out a lot of the crap.
I see in the near future us helping you automate and organize your organic marketing so you can make a lot more money and save a lot of time while you're doing it. It's great. It's super helpful. Right now, it's very valuable. But what somewhat scares me, I mean, it doesn't scare me. It's just trying to figure out, okay, how do I stay relevant and how do I innovate in this new landscape? I look in 2 years, 3 years, everything I've built is now completely, we've run this company for the last 7 years, and everything I built, like I see very quickly in the next 2 to 3 years, every single thing that I've built in the last 7 years, it's completely irrelevant. It's completely useless. So that's what I was kind of getting at, that kind of.
Is it though? Like,
I think so personally.
I think if you've got so your foundation around building it the SaaS way and building it the white label way and partnering with it and being platformed and being open and being API, and I think those are all necessary. I think the people like the software that does closed systems and they don't give out keys and they won't let you connect to stuff and they hold on to data, like goodbye. You have no place in this world. Anyway, people are still going to need this stuff. I think our minds are way ahead of the curve on some of this stuff. And, some of this might be complete pie in the sky stuff. It might be complete conspiracy theories. We might not know exactly what we're talking about. I just went to a family gig and a smart person at the table referred to, when you put those things on your eye and you can see all the world differently. Is it AI? No, VR, you mean? Like, yeah, the AI, that new stuff. Like, you're not even we're not even having the same conversation. You're so far behind, and I'm not dissing her, but it was that's the normal person. Normal people aren't exposed to this on a daily. They're not nerd fast. They're not technical fast. They're not involved in the back ends of websites and CSS and all that sort of stuff. So humans are going to move slower. Businesses are going to move slower. The technology is going to move super fast, but they're going to step change slowly, I think, with that. So I don't know all of your suite, but I know Genius does stuff with Facebook Messenger and sort of a CRM inside of that. That's not going anywhere. I don't think that's going anywhere for years, because that fundamental chat is not going away anytime soon. I don't think, as a species, I don't think we're heading into the metaverse anytime soon. I think that was a nerd's dream. I really don't think that's happening. So I don't think that's going to be a huge change. I played with Second Life and those sort of things. That was 2008, 2009 or something. Even with ultra realistic tech, people just don't want to, I don't think they want to do that. I don't think we're ready to enter the matrix yet. So I think you've still got at least another 7 years, and the pivot and the adaptation you'll be able to do with where you are with the platform, you're easily going to be able to move with it. You're easily going to be able to incorporate AI and the evolving tech and the new models that the internet's going to work on, the new models that the advertising is going to work on. I went on a ChatGPT to check this out. How do I build an Alexa skill? Go here, press this, do this, okay. How do I integrate the Alexa skill? Well, here's some code to do that. Okay, what can I do with an Alexa skill? I could say, hey, Alexa, and have it say, hey, ChatGPT. I'm going to ask it stuff about that. Now it's going to be my little helper. It's still not connected, but these things are starting to be connected.
Right.
So we can start building these things into our tools now, and we're going to be so far ahead of the others. These things are all going to happen, but we're part of that. We're building that well.
It's a bright future.
For sure.
The bright future.
Right. Crazy.
We got to wrap up, but could you tell us what people can buy from you and how they can get into your funnel and ecosystem?
Yeah, I'm full of freebies. Generally, that's just me, and happy to give people advice. So all of our websites, GHL Tools, funnelfixit.com, there's a link to my calendar on the page. So if anyone needs a hand with anything, if they need direction with stuff, I'm connected to a whole bunch of people. I'm happy to help. I love seeing entrepreneurs succeed. I love getting people started. I love ideation, just chatting about cool shit. GHL Tools is where we're doing all of our high level stuff. It's also where we do a lot of our integration work and a lot of our software work. It's also where you'll get connected with me for the AI stuff at the moment. I do have a Facebook group, and by the time people contact me out of this, I'm sure they'll be able to get hold of it.
Awesome, Nathan. So it was really great. I'm so grateful that you spent time with us. It was really fun, informative, and also deep. So I know that the future is crazy. It's also very bright, and maybe for some people it's scary as well. But we will see what happens. And we really loved the session, and I really hope, I wish you all the success for your future endeavor and future products that's coming this year and next year.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
for coming, man.
Yeah, you have a good one. Bye, Nathan.
Cheers. Talk soon.
Yep.
Bye-bye.